Every time you run, something in your body hurts. Your knees, your shins, your lower back. It's like your body's telling you to stop. And for most guys, it's not because you got bad shoes or weak knees or because you're getting older, it's because your running form sucks. But the good news is you can fix that. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to run with better form so you can fix your mechanics, stop getting injured, and you can start running faster with less effort. Now, if you're anything like most of the guys I talk to, you were never taught how to run. You just lace them up and then you go. But running is a skill. Just like lifting weights, if you do it wrong, you're gonna end up injured. So here's 3 things that I see a lot from bad running mechanics. Poor posture and a weak core, overstriding and heavy impact, and you have no cadence control. You don't even know what cadence control means. When we talk about poor posture, you run like a gigantic gorilla. You're hunched over, you got all this pressure on your knees and on your lower back. When we're overstriding, you're reaching out too far, which is getting a massive amount of heel impact. And we're gonna talk about heel impact versus mid-striking here later on in this video, but running like a gorilla, heavy impact on the shins, and you got no cadence control. So your stride is very inefficient, making you waste energy, which means your gas runs out a lot faster. And dude, I've heard it all the time. I've got shin splints and I've got weak knees, and believe me, those things suck. But most of the time, it's from poor running mechanics and a lack of strength. But if you can fix those things, you can improve your cadence, you can improve your running efficiency, you can get rid of pain, and you might actually enjoy running a little bit more. So we're gonna talk about a couple of different things. We're gonna talk about your posture, we're gonna talk about your stride, and we're gonna talk about foot contact. But first off, with the posture, you can't run like a gorilla all hunched over, and you can't run with your back arched. Everything falls apart if your running mechanics are off from your posture from the jump. Now, when I was in the military, you didn't walk around with your gun looking at the ground. You're scanning the horizon, your eyes are up, your chest is up. Look up, look forward. Get your head out of the ground. Engage your core. Don't just let your core just be flopping around. It's a slight tuck of your pelvis, which means you lean forward just a touch. It's like in our hollow body. We don't do the hollow body with our back arch. We engage slightly, puts us in a forward lean. Think of it like when we're squatting, for example. We don't squat with our back all bent out of shape. We're locked in, we got a neutral spine, everything's centered and lined. If your core is weak and your back is rounded, what happens? The weight's gonna crush you, and running is no different. If your posture is off, your body's gonna take unnecessary stress that's not needed. So if you can increase your core, you're already in a better position. Most guys think that a longer stride is going to lead to you running faster. Couldn't be any further from the truth, because what happened is when you stride out too far, you are almost putting on the brakes. It's forcing you to slow down. It's also making your heel slam, which creates a lot of impact on your shin and on your knees. And you're wasting your energy. More impact, more effort required. That's not what we want. We want to shorten our slide. We want to get our heel strike to land right under our center body mass. If we can increase your cadence to like 170 to 180 per minute, your watch will be able to show you that. It's going to improve your cycle time. We're going to talk about cycling in a minute, of how that is probably the best way you should be running. Think about quick, think about light steps, trying to get faster ground contact time, not overstriding. I've even read some studies that if you can improve your cadence by 5%, knee injuries go down by 20%. And the reason why this is, if you think about when you're cycling, you don't just crank it down in low gear. It's hard on your legs. But if you can increase your cadence, you can still move at a good pace, but without less strain. And that's why getting into drills like A skips and B skips, we're teaching our body to land under, just like when you're cycling, it comes up and around. We want to have the knee come up with like an A skip. We want to pull it back so it propels us to go forward. Great running drills to implement before going. A skips, B skips, bounding, teaching you about our ground contact nine next, which is why I love plyometric training. And one of the simplest things we can do is, let's have soft feet, guys. Let's have sound, silent, no smacking the ground. We shouldn't be smacking around. We want to have light feet. Keep your foot directly under your body, just like with the B skip. We're pulling it in so it stays under our center of mass. And in fact, it should actually be coming slightly behind to propel us to go forward, but that's very technical. Some of the different plyometric drills that I love to incorporate are plyos, ice skaters, different type of bounding mechanics, so we can actually improve that ground contact time, so we can get used to where our center of our mass should be. We're light on our toes. Now there's 3 different types of striking that you'll hear all the time: heel, midfoot, and forefoot. Heel foot striking, which is what it sounds like. It's not ideal, but it's okay for lower speed. Midfoot striking is what's most optimal for everybody. And when it comes to forefoot, this is why I do plyometrics and quick reaction training, because it gets you used to that. We want midfoot striking to be the place where we want to be living. Too much of this can cause a lot of calf tightness, and I know you're not foam rolling and do as much tissue work as you can, so you'll be better off living in this range here. Knee injuries, best, probably end up with tight calves. So let's talk next about some common injuries. Let's talk about shin splints. Let's talk about runner's knee. Let's talk about some common injuries here. Oh, and how could I forget plantar fasciitis? So I'm going to give you quick fixes on little things that you can do to improve each of these. For example, if we wanted to fix our shin splints, Let's improve our cadence. Let's get rid of the heel strike and avoid smacking the ground, impact, softer landing, running on eggshell. When it comes to runner's knee, let's focus on our hips. Let's do some clamshells. Let's get into some side planks. Let's prioritize strengthening our glutes, improving our core strength, our core stability. Get rid of heel striking. When it comes to plantar fasciitis, we need to improve our foot strength. This could be as simple as getting plugged into the proper shoes, wearing a minimalist shoe throughout your day, or taking your shoes off at home as often as possible, walking barefoot. You got to strengthen your feet. And when it comes to all of these things, mobility training and core training has to be a regular part of our process. There's a reason why I have the mobility videos in there for 15 minutes a day, because they're small enough and they're obtainable, and we cover every joint of the body. If you have no idea what you're talking about, you're not in our program, check out the description below so you can see how we can get plugged into our community. This is a video primarily built on dudes who are already in our program, but the mobility program is there for a reason. We got to continue to focus on strength training. We have to be strong. We got to improve our tendon strength. We got to improve our muscles. If we have stronger muscles, we have stronger tendons, we're putting ourselves in a better position to not get injured. And there's a reason why there is tissue work and recovering at the beginning and at the end of our sessions, because we want to prioritize recovery. You are only going to be as good as you recover. We can't just train and beat ourselves into the ground. We got to prioritize recovery. Sometimes that looks like 5 minutes. Sometimes it looks like choosing 1 or 2 drills. We need to implement into our lifestyle what we have time for. Strength training alone, studies have shown 40% will decrease your injuries just by getting stronger. So let's continue to work on things like Bulgarian split squats to improve our quad function so we can reduce our knee pain. Let's continue to work on doing anterior tib raises so we can improve our strength of our shins and avoid shin splints. Let's continue to work our hips doing clamshells so we can improve our glute activation and our hip stability. So if you're serious about training and fixing your form, we have to prioritize the right mechanics. And you need to be doing this stuff. So now that we've mastered running form, we talked about how to build muscle, all these different topics of running. Now we need to know how to piece it all together. In the next video, I'll be talking about hybrid training, what an exact training split looks like on a daily basis, mapping it all out. That way you know what you need to be doing to crush it every single week.